In this episode of Paranormal Places.
I'm definitely hearing voices. Oh, I'm getting chills. Hello? Are you here? I don't know this room. I don't like this room at all. I think they remember us. Hey, David.
Hi.
Who was that?
Sound like you said Deva. It's my name.
Can you talk to me?
There's an old saying that seeing is believing. But what if you don't believe your eyes? My name is David Flowers. After years of paranormal experiences, I've decided I needed to capture proof. So I gathered some gear and went off to find my own evidence. Come with me as I investigate paranormal places. So this is where it all started for me. I just moved to the little town of Seguin, and a lot of people had told me that I needed to come check this place out. So a friend of mine and I came down here during the evening one day, and it was right after the beginning of the pandemic, so there was nobody down here. And we were standing right here in front of the Magnolia reading this historical marker, and the very last line says something about the tenants never checking out. Over the 175 years of the hotel's existence, thousands of guests have checked into the Magnolia Hotel, but many say some of them have never checked out. Right after we read that, there was a huge bang from the inside of the house, right here in this window. Shook the curtains, shook the window, startled us. We saw the curtains move from the inside and everything. So we took a step back. So then we moved out into the street and kind of walked this way towards the door, still looking at the front door. And then we heard two more large bangs coming from inside the house on the back of the front door, pushing the door so forcefully that it shook the metal gate on the outside of it. Two huge bangs. Bang, bang. So the skeptic says that there must be somebody inside, right? So I started looking around for cars that could be parked here. It is the middle of the pandemic. We were in lockdown at that time, so there was nobody on the streets, nobody here, nobody around. there's a fence that goes into the driveway in the backside. There was no cars parked there. As far as I could tell, there was nobody there. So that was enough. We left. But we came back the next morning and we drove by, and there was a mirror on that pole. See that pole right there? There was a mirror, full-length mirror, leaned up against that pole. And the wind was pretty strong, and it was blowing the mirror. And I was afraid that it was going to fall and shatter before I even got there. So obviously it had not been there for very long. So I picked it up, and then I contacted the owner to make sure that it was her that put it out there. And she told me that it came from the Magnolia. It was one of the original pieces from the Magnolia. I looked it up online, and I was able to find pictures of the mirror inside the house. So the next day when I contacted the owner, I asked her about the mirror. She said there was nobody in the house, but that's a pretty common occurrence. Bangs on that front door is something she hears a lot.
In 1884, Texas freedom fighter James Campbell constructed the two-room fort on top of a hand-dug basement intended to be an Indian raid shelter. Later, it was used as the town jail. You can still see the iron rings in the post used to confine people. Campbell played a big part in the slaughter of thousands of the Comanche, so he had a price on his head. The Comanche found him outside of town, stabbed him 17 times, scalped him, and drug his body through the desert and left it on the outskirts of town. He was found later and buried somewhere on the property. This memorial was placed in his remembrance to try and make peace with his uneasy spirit. Later it became a stagecoach stop, with many stopping daily. New people coming and going, gambling and drinking, and argument led to many deaths. People coming and not leaving their full name, not leaving a real name, impossible to trace, gone the next day. Murder was a common occurrence. Suicides as well. There's a story of a woman found in the bathtub, her wrist slit. No identification. The body stayed at the hotel for weeks until it could be identified. A traveling salesman found with his throat slit from ear to ear, the door locked from the inside. It was pronounced a suicide, of course. Later, the hotel was divided into apartments, and still many documented deaths and suicide. The hotel was in such bad condition it could no longer operate as a hotel or apartments. It sat empty for many years. It became a haven for vagrants and squatters, drug users. The police were called in occasionally to remove the overdose victims, and for years it seemed like the spirits were locked inside, destined to look out at the ever-changing world. People in the town of Seguin would continue to go by the old house, take pictures claiming that they would see faces peering through the windows back at them. Numerous pictures. In 2013, Jim and Aaron Getty saved the Magnolia, rescuing it from certain destruction, taking on the challenge of restoring it back to its former glory and bringing it new life. And during the restoration, they found a tunnel used during Prohibition when the hotel was being used as a speakeasy. I also found that lots of other famous paranormal investigators have been to the Magnolia, Zach Bagan and Ghost Adventures, Nick Groff, and the Travel Channel's Ghost Brothers, just to name a few. The hotel also has numerous ghost photos online, and that's when I found the picture of my mirror, the full-length mirror leaning against the wall on the outside. I also discovered this photo taken in the reflection of the mirror itself, of a dark hand reaching for the arm of the photographer. I booked my reservation, and I could not wait to get inside. Made it. Magnolia Hotel. Try and get out of here and show you guys. The sleepy town of Seguin lies just east of San Antonio and south of Austin. The Magnolia Hotel sits just walking distance from the old town square, where you can find the world's largest pecan, something that the town of Seguin is very proud of. It also sits a short distance away from the Guadalupe River, another reason why this town was so valuable to its pioneer ancestors. This stump sitting outside the hotel served for 100 years as a step for those exiting the carriage or the stagecoach. And there, standing behind the stump, is my daughter Deva, arriving for our evening's investigation. We went for a walk to get ourselves ready for this investigation. The entire town was empty, the streets deserted due to the pandemic lockdown. The town was decorated for Christmas, but no spectators. It gave the streets an eerie feeling, like you were walking through a true ghost town.
Scary walk.
The ghost closed the lock. So this portion, it's hard to tell, but the walls are cracked. Here we go, yeah. I'll have to follow where your light goes so we can see. This portion of the hotel has been left original. There's no electricity, and walking around in the dark can get disorienting. So I've made a map so everyone knows where we are. Our adventure begins in the entryway from the bed and breakfast portion of the house, and then to the pink bathroom. Legend has it that a young woman committed suicide in the pink bathroom, grief-stricken and heartbroken, waiting on a lover that never returned.
Do you want to explain the rooms?
Okay.
This is the pink bathroom where someone was waiting for their lover. He didn't come, and so grief-stricken, she committed suicide in the bathtub.
This is the mirror that left the house, went to my house, and then I brought it back. This mirror has been photographed a few times and had ghosts caught in the reflection of it. Remember the mirror I found? I brought it back to the hotel and placed it in the exact same place it was as a trigger object.
There's a handprint there.
Oh wow.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
It's probably someone just trying to be scary, but I don't know.
Maybe like shampoo or something. I don't think it's what kind of substance it is. Probably some DNA in that tub.
My head started hurting a little bit. I
Yeah.
walked in here. I don't know if it's because I started thinking about the emotion.
Mhm. This mirror has been photographed, having spirits come out of it. Hey, David.
Hi.
I want to go back into the pink bathroom for a second. Watch as you can see this light anomaly come out of the right-hand side of my mirror and then turn upwards and then turn back to the left and go back underneath the mirror, in between the two mirrors. Using the spirit box, you can hear what seems to be two spirits talking to each other, possibly about the events that happened in this bathroom. This will not be the last time you hear two spirits talking to each other in this hotel.
Pink bathroom.
So this next room is the room where people would stay as they watched the criminals be executed across the window by the prison, which is known as one of the worst treated criminal prisons in Texas. And then watch their loved ones be hung in this room. So there's a lot of emotion going on.
This room. This is the room. There's cigarette smoke. I just smelled a pipe, or yeah, I just smelled oh look, there he is. I said I just smelled a pipe. Yeah, it's this guy smoking a pipe. Maybe it's in this trunk. I searched all over for the source of the pipe tobacco smell, and eventually it faded away. There's pipe tobacco really strong in here. And as many times I went into that room throughout the night, I never smelled it again. This room could be rented for the private viewing of a public execution. It came with binoculars and handkerchiefs. Just over the back fence is a concrete slab that marks where the hanging tree used to be.
This is known as the traveling salesman's room, because salesmen would come through and talk to each other when they stayed at the hotel, and then some people have said that you can still smell their products and hear their conversations. Feedback is safe.
Not very talkative tonight.
My daughter David's name, followed by a bang.
Who was that?
Sounded like you said Dava. It's my name.
Hi!
What's your name?
Just as claimed by others using the spirit box, we pick up multiple
What's
men
your name?
talking to each other, telling us their names.
How many of you are here all the time?
Did you say 12? That's a lot of people. Are you crowded?
Multiple claims say that there are 13 ghosts that reside in the Magnolia.
I would be crowded.
Alright, we're gonna take a little break. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I ask a direct question about the name of a little boy in the picture, and I get a direct response.
Who is that?
Salesman's conference room. There is no electricity in this place, so we're all about flashlights around here. I have a EVP there. You can't see it. I'm gonna have a seat over on this side. Ask some questions. After hours, the place fell quiet, and I sat alone, asking questions, getting no responses. It's in these times you wonder if you're asking the right questions. What are you doing here, sitting in the dark? I sat in quiet for over 20 minutes. Feeling a cold chill, I decided to move around. And journey on through the hotel. Cold and empty. Across the main hall. To door number 3, the murderer's room.
The axe, which is over there, and his wife was just blinded because he hit her in the face. He came and spent the night in this room, and the reading says that you can still feel his anger.
Emma, 8 years old, was accidentally killed by William Faust. Faust was intending to kill his wife as she slept, but Emma had changed places with her in the night. Faust wanted to kill his wife in order to marry her sister with an axe. Emma was killed, his wife blinded. He took residence in the Magnolia as an alibi. Later he was shot dead through the bars of the jail. This photograph was found in the hotel. On the back read, "The innocent William Faust." Was William Faust innocent? Was an innocent man killed? Okay, this room, I do not like this room. Terrifying, basically. Hello. My name's David. Staying here tonight with my daughter. Can you tell me your name? Say you stayed here after you killed a young girl who you thought was your wife? Is that correct? Can you tell me if I got that correct? I don't like this room. I don't like this room at all. Hello? 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 That's the second time they have said David's name.
I feel like you said hello earlier.
Maybe we'll go into a different room.
First, the child.
You want us to go to a different room? You want us to go to a different room?
Then a woman. They'll come through
What's
again.
your name?
More men passing through.
There doesn't seem to be much information on the kitchen.
Want to have some dinner? Are you hungry?
A sudden temperature change.
Are you hungry? We could have something to eat.
Again, a child.
Hi. Hi.
What's your name?
Followed by a woman.
Is that a little? Did I hear a little girl?
Sounds like the exact same voices. They must have followed us from the other room.
Getting creeped out. Ooh, I'm getting creeped out. Why am I so creeped out in here? Getting chills. Oh, I'm getting chills.
During both of our stays at the Magnolia, not once did I go completely inside the yellow bathroom.
You still recording?
I get to the door and then stop.
Thank you.
Is this someone saying thank you for not entering?
Oh yeah. See, sometimes this place. I like it in here. I like Rose's room.
So this part of the house we completely missed the first time we walked in during the day and walked right past this doorway and didn't see any of this room.
This is a pink Rosebud's room, a woman part of a brothel, and a lot of people liked her in the town, and this room was specifically meant for her. She disappeared and nobody knows where she really went.
The bang that you're about to hear is actually much louder than it appears, and it comes from downstairs in the direction of the front door.
Hello? Are you here?
Here's the same thing caught from a different camera.
Hello? Are you here? Kind of sound like they were singing.
Yeah.
Are you singing?
Sounds like a man responding to my question. Again, a loud bang coming from downstairs in the direction of the front door. The enhanced audio picks up the thud of footsteps coming up behind me
Rosebud's room.
and a snapping sound.
I just heard something behind me. Pink Rosebud's room. I just heard something behind me. Pink Rosebud's room. I just heard something behind me. I just heard something behind me. Turn around really slow. Try not to scare anything. Just a tick noise. Who knows? So, hanging out on the Rose couch. Miss Rose? You talk to me? How's business?
What you're about to see I didn't notice until after I had gone through all the video footage. I show you a shot of the couches to show that there is no one in them. I move further into the room, and as I pan to my right to watch it again in slow motion, the couches no longer look empty. I showed this picture to the owner, and she says it must be the woman, Little Bit, who was a working girl for Miss Rosebud. She likes to wear hats. This is the single most amazing piece of evidence I've ever seen. I'll let you be the judge.
I'm definitely hearing voices. I can't tell if they're coming from outside. This voice recorder that I have with the headphones is so sensitive. I can hear everything. I could be hearing a party going on outside blocks away. But I can't tell. I wasn't hearing this many voices, this much activity when I wasn't using these earlier. I'm going to have to go through all the audio and see if I can make out what I'm hearing. Itsy. Why don't you take us to Itzy's room?
It's
It's creepiest room.
Okay, so the ball didn't move. This is the little girl's room, and she died of yellow fever. Her mom loved her, and she was a single parent and had to work, and so she left her in the room a lot to play with toys.
As soon as I enter the room, there's a man announcing my arrival.
You playing in here, Itsy?
This next voice is the same woman from before, completely interacting with what we're doing. How many spirits actually reside behind these walls?
Here's Sam's room. Thanks, Sam. I'm gonna back up against this wall for a little bit. It's really getting creeped out. Is this upside down? I can't tell. I was really getting creeped out there for a little bit. I don't know. I like Sam's room. Simple. Small. Hey Sam, can you whistle for me? You like to whistle?
Sam was a slave in the early days of the Magnolia. He chopped wood constantly. Legend has it he also liked to whistle and sing and wrestle and arm wrestle. I believe it was Sam that was telling me, yes sir, he was still singing.
Gary, who is a slave, and he likes to whistle and arm wrestle.
Who lives in this room?
Here's another time where you hear two spirits interacting with each other.
Whose room is this?
I started hearing voices almost immediately. This dinner is delicious. It's a woman's voice. Where are you from? What's your name? having trouble focusing. I was trying to focus on the door instead of the place. Here's another kitchen.
Smelling a foul odor in this part of the house is a common paranormal claim.
Kind of stinky. Smell that?
No. Oh yeah, I do. Last time I smelled bacon.
It smells like old fish or something. I don't know if that's paranormal.
Was this voice from when the hotel was home to squatters and drug users?
Another bathroom, the yellow bathroom. Cloth bathroom.
So, disappearance of a drugstore owner. There's a picture of a ghost in the bathroom. And then he was last seen Sunday night in his shirt sleeve and took all the keys to the store, left his clothes behind, and Mr. People feared that he committed suicide, is what it says.
And again, I never go completely into the yellow bathroom, and something chases me out. Coming out of the tub and out the door. This anomaly doesn't move like dust, and looking closely I dismiss it as being some sort of insect, as it doesn't appear to have any wings, and looks more like a ball of concentrated light.
He went downstairs, didn't he?
No, I never went down there because it's scary as all get out. Do you want me to go first? Yeah, sure. I'm always behind you. My back always feels exposed. Nail. This would be like the front entrance.
Wow. You can't design a creepier ceiling, huh?
No,
Even if you try in a haunted house, you couldn't.
no, it's definitely like old wallpaper.
Morning. Slept well, actually. Had a really bizarre dream. Not sure if that was house-induced or not. Hearing weird screaming going on, but could be children from across the street. Screaming was coming from in this room.
The screams of children playing was very quiet and muffled and sounded as if it was coming from inside the walls.
We never found the screaming children.
Oh, never to be found again.
So, is it haunted, Ava?
Yes, absolutely, it's haunted.
Absolutely. All
I
right.
guess it would be.
Good morning, Magnolia Hotel. Another night. Stayed here at the Magnolia. Loved it. Loved it. I laid in this bathtub, drank wine. But we heard some footsteps. Crazy footsteps. In that room. It's like they were coming through the wall at us.
Ava and I both heard footsteps around us.
So, I'm walking around, gonna say goodbye to the Magnolia.
As we were both standing in our socks on the carpet.
Goodbye, Miss Rose. I enjoyed staying with you. Goodbye, Itzy. Come here. Come here and love it as much as I did. I've been here twice. Very cool. Authentic. And this house is the real deal. Lots of voices. It's different every time, you know. I'll go into the bed and breakfast part and chill out. Come back in here and it'll feel completely different.
Next time I used my audio recorder after the Magnolia was to record my band. This is the very first time I pressed record, and it recorded some large explosions almost sounding like gunshots at the beginning, which fades out into a growl. Take a listen. In the clip, you can hear the drummer tap out the 4 count to start the song. All the other musicians should be quiet. The other explosions happening at the same time are unexplainable. Those noises didn't come from anywhere around us, didn't come from any of our instruments, and are completely unexplained. I now feel as if I have some sort of relationship with the Magnolia Hotel. From our first interaction with the banging on the window and the front door, and then finding the mirror just the next morning outside the hotel. It was as if the hotel was introducing itself to me, calling me in. Over my 2 stays at the Magnolia, I was introduced to many of its residents, and I am eternally grateful. They deserve all of our respect. When you come here, book your reservations early, and be a nice, respectful guest during your stay, and maybe the permanent residents will introduce themselves to you as well. The Magnolia Hotel is a remarkable paranormal location and needs to be preserved and protected, and that job is all of ours. Thank you for watching this episode of Paranormal Places. There will be more locations soon to come, more stories to tell. From Paranormal Places, this has been David Flowers. Till then, if you find yourself in the dark, remember, you're not alone.